Hey guys, this video is going to be pretty personal. I had decided to make this video a segment, part of my teenage years. It's mostly going to be what happened to me growing up through, I want to say, since I was in sixth grade to like going into high school, so at the end of like 8th grade. This video is going to be about my anxiety when I had very bad anxiety attacks, and me having denial about a lot of things about myself. First of all, when I started to have my first anxiety attack, I was in sixth grade, and I felt like I was going to die. Honestly, I never been so scared in my life because I didn't know what was going on. Like my body would just feel a certain way, and my heart would race. I would feel like tingly, sweaty, and I would sometimes feel like my heart stop and then like go. And I didn't know what was the cause of it, but there was a lot of stuff in my life that was going on that really caused me to have these attacks, and I even had a panic attack. And me growing up in 6th, 7th grade, 8th grade, it was really difficult for me to adjust and to figure out what was going on because I was so scared, and it was a lot about myself that I was trying to fight back, which caused it to develop. First of all, like my attacks, I had the craziest attacks. Like I remember I was like laying down, trying to go to sleep, and my heart would just go. It would just go, and I didn't know why. I would feel like I can't breathe some nights. I would just feel so terrified, and one thing I tried to do was let my mom know, like, I feel like I'm going to die. I remember this one time that I decided to go to the hospital, and they seen that my blood pressure was up pretty high. And they didn't know why, but like I was really so scared. I was like, I think I'm having like anxiety or something, after I decided to like research what could be the cause of it, or why does it happen, because it happens so frequently. Like there was a time when I was in school and in my classes, and I all of a sudden just had this feeling, and it overcame, like it just took over, and I felt like I had to get up immediately because it just felt like my heart kept stopping. I actually ran out the room, and I ran into my school counselor's room and the school nurse's office frequently. The one time I actually ran out, but like I visited my counselor and school nurse a lot of times, and we became really close for me being in that school as long as I did, and for the fact that I had these problems and I wanted to like figure out what was going on. I felt like it was nobody could understand what I'm going through. It was like the most loneliest and scariest feeling of my entire life. I think the cause of it mostly was when I was like 10 or 11 or so. I was the thing that really got me anxious was learning about like my sexuality and stuff. I didn't I didn't know what was going on, and I was trying to fight like urges or my feelings toward like guys. I know that in the past I had dated, I'm going to make a video on my relationships too, but I dated girls in my past, and I'm going to talk about that in another video, but I don't know what it was. I grew up in like a Christian household. My mom, brother, sister, my stepdad, and my stepbrothers, we would go to church on Sundays, almost every Sunday. Eventually, as I grew older, I stopped going. It was more like an option for me to go. My mom stopped going, and my brother and sister mostly went with their dad because he was a reverend at the time, and he basically was working on becoming a pastor. I hated it. Like I hated it so bad. Like I really did not want to have those feelings to, feelings to be attracted to guys, and I did a lot of like research. I remember I was I was in chat rooms when I was younger trying to like talk to people and see what was going on, because I was like, I'm a little bi-curious or something. I can't believe I'm saying it. I can't believe I'm saying that. And nobody knew that. But yeah, I just wanted to know what was going on. That was like one of the main sources, because I felt like I was always being bashed in my head, oh, you're going to hell, you're evil, it's an abomination type of thing. And I always was referring to those things back in church. Church made me so anxious to go. I stopped wanting to go because I felt like every time I did something in my life or thought a certain way, that I was evil, and I'm always being threatened that I'm going to hell or something. And yet there were other people that did certain things that we were taught not to do in the Bible, and they're doing the exact same thing, like having sex before marriage, or talk to somebody a certain way, treating them not with love like most of the teachings are in Christianity, and people don't do that. So that was like, it was a turnoff for me, because I found out there was a lot of hypocrites in the church. And it started to make me feel a little better not to go, because I didn't really like somebody telling me this is how what you're doing is wrong, and they're doing something wrong too. I just hate hypocrites. Because of me, religion and me started to like fall off, and I became more accepting of other people religions, but I personally don't practice as much, simply because it's just a lot of things that people do and say, and they end up contradicting themselves, and it causes harm, more harm than good for people. And I didn't like that. Like for me, in my case, me being attracted to the same sex or both sexes, I struggled a lot growing up. I was so scared to tell anybody about it when I was like 12. And I luckily had a best friend, my best friend Tyler, who I met around 6th grade. And at first, like, when it came down to like my friends, like, I just thought he wasn't gonna be like my friend anymore. And the reason why he's still my best friend after like it seemed like what, 12 years now. He's been my best friend for 12 years because he's been by my side since like day one. Like, there were so many different things that we were going through, the same school and stuff, making a club, and we were tight, and he supported me. I remember me on AOL or Yahoo. No, it was Yahoo. I was on Yahoo, and I was chatting with him, and I told him, hey, I have something to tell you. I'm afraid to tell you, and I'm afraid you won't be my friend anymore. And he said to me, what is it? I told him that I think I might be attracted to guys and girls, and I just hope that you still be my friend. And he told me, dude, you're so stupid. He said, you are so stupid. Why would I stop being your friend because of who you are? And ever since I heard him tell me that, he it brought like a new sense of confidence for me. And he said, if that's who you are, then that's who you're gonna be. There's no reason for me to stop being your friend. That's stupid, dude. Like, I love you. And I just felt so good that I had somebody that I can confide in and support me for so long. And we were so young. And it was pretty nice because my best friend is straight, and he supports everybody. He's a loving person, and I just was happy that I can tell somebody about that. When I had these attacks, I felt so lonely and scared. I was confused, and I didn't like know what was going on. Talking about these things, like the feelings or whatever, with my best friend and my counselor and nurse, caused me to feel a little better. Um, and one thing I really did to really try to combat these feelings was I decided to join a club. Like we had after school clubs and midday clubs in Pinnacle, my charter school growing up, and I wanted to be part of the bio club because I decided to want to try to dive in on how the heart works and the brain, because I swear, like I didn't know. It's so hard to explain. Like if you never had an anxiety attack or a panic attack, then you might not understand it. People that do have these kind of problems, they it's a struggle to get other people to understand, because you don't know unless you had it yourself. And I'm not talking about like, oh no, I'm so anxious, this person makes me anxious kind of thing, or I'm worried about tests, or no, like severe. It was very severe anxiety, like real. And my blood pressure was really high when I went to like the doctor and tried to figure out what was going on, and it was wondering why. But I sometimes Google things too to like try to make me feel a little better, and figure out what health wise what was going on. I tried looking up like chakra stuff, inner healing stuff, doing research, which my nurse, my best friend, and I were really into the whole like Zen type of thing, and like Asian cultures became a huge thing for me. Not only that, it's more so like I like talking about those, chakras, or like doing yoga or like karate and stuff. It made me feel better, and I learned over the time like exercising releases like chemicals in your brain that makes you feel good, and it relieves some of the anxiety. I remember when I had my attacks, one of the things that made me take comfort was I used to go right to the bathroom. I just needed privacy. I didn't want me having an attack to show in my face because I looked worried all the time. So one of the things that I did was go to the bathroom, take a shower, probably use the bathroom, and try to splash water on my face. And I would look at myself in the mirror and just make sure that I'm okay, and look at my eyes, make sure I'm not going to pass out. Because there were times where I had like 1 or 2 episodes where I was about to pass out. And I tried to work on taking deep breaths in, exhaling to get all that out, and make me feel better. I also learned that like it took me years to like overcome my severe anxiety, but like occasionally there are certain things that like it kind of tries to resurface, but not as severe as it was, because I learned to try to take better care of myself, and I started to feel better about myself, and my body started to feel better when I stopped caring with what other people think about me. And that was one of the things that my best friend told me is like, dude, you shouldn't care what other people think about you, because, you know, it's you at the end of the day. Like, come on, dude. Like, so what? Who cares? And I started to feel better, and I started to tell people, like, if they ask me what I'm attracted to, who I'm attracted to, whatever, I would tell them. I didn't want to make it a big deal about anything, which is why growing up, I never really told or expressed anything to my family. I ended up gaining, like, this attitude of, like, if things are meant to be, they're meant to be. It shouldn't be a big deal about who I'm in the bed with at the end of the day. If I'm not hurting anybody, then what's the problem? It shouldn't be really a big deal about, like, that shouldn't be like a topic. Like, okay, I'm not clocking who you're dating or who you're talking to or how your lifestyle is, so why are you doing it with me? Which caused me to be more accepting of things, but I just learned that me taking care of myself, as in like eating good, one of the main causes of like my anxiety was, or anxiety in general for a lot of people, is like caffeine. I cut back caffeine a lot when I was working on trying to stop these episodes, because caffeine got my heart racing. Even like you could be good at 1 minute and then the next minute you're not. Like, that's how anxiety works. Like, you could just be chilling, next thing you know, it just happens. I also learned that since my blood pressure was kind of high, I learned that trying to stay away from sodium is the best thing that you could probably do for yourself, because it causes your blood pressure to go up, causes your heart to race, work harder. Cutting back certain foods, fast foods and stuff, is something that I started to do a couple years ago to try to work on myself as well. But all in general, like over the years, me overcoming my anxiety attacks was work. It wasn't easy, and for the people that do have these exact like anxiety attacks or episodes, I promise you, you are not alone. I've been dealing with that for many years, and I think one of the things now is me becoming a tad bit socially awkward, but there's new things about myself going into adulthood. Like those things that I went through when I was younger caused me to develop a certain mindset into my adulthood. I think now it's like it's a little complicated, but I will get into it in another video. But I just wish anybody the best that are going through these like episodes or anxiety. And if you are gay or whatever, if you're different anyway, just stop caring what people think. That's why I decided to make these kind of videos, because at the end of the day, like I get hate on making these kind of videos too. Even being in the military, it's frowned upon, but like I don't care, because this is my life. I'm vlogging. I protect my country. I do my job. At the same time, I have my life, and I am a person at the end of the day. And you never know. I hope I just can reach out to some of you guys too. And I hope you guys like my story. And I'm going to come up with another part involving my relationships probably in the next video. But I thank you guys for watching so much. That is all. Airman May is out of here. See you guys. Phew.